What is up? It's your boy Infrared. Welcome to the Scout Reports. Today I bring you an anime review of Boku no Hero Academia, Episode 2. And once again, another phenomenal and heartwarming episode of this series. So without further ado, let's get on to the breakdown. So we start back off on the roof with Izuku and All Might, with Izuku declaring and asking All Might, can he still be a hero without a quirk? This gets All Might's attention as he turns around to get ready to address him. He actually reverts back to a deflated form of himself, which shocks Izuku because at this point, he's even questioning if this person is the real All Might at all. He's nothing like how he looked. He's just like he still has the same hair, but he's just kind of like a skinny, and he literally looks like an inflated guy compared to what All Might is. It is here that All Might reveals to him that 5 years ago, he got severely injured in a battle with a villain, and his stomach is gone, and his respiratory organs are now crushed, and he has a nasty scar on the side of his chest now, or on the side of his ribs or wherever, and he can only maintain his form for 3 hours, and that 3-hour time limit has come up at this point. He explains this to Deku, and he asks him to keep this a secret because this battle was not public knowledge, and he wants to keep it that way because one of two things. First, he wants to keep the image of All Might clean in the public. He wants everybody to still have that hope and to still look up to him as one of the top heroes. Also, it's the whole you have to laugh in order to stop yourself from crying things. He uses All Might as an inspiration for himself to keep fighting, and he doesn't want the people to see him as this broken man because that can crush people's dreams, like Izuku's, for example. So with that being said, he does give Deku a little bit of reassurance. He says, even though you don't have powers, you can still keep dreaming and you can still be something, but you might not want to pursue being a hero. In this point, you might want to just be a fireman or a policeman, somebody that can still help the community, but without superpowers. And it gives Deku a little bit of reassurance, but not what he wanted to hear, of course. He wanted to hear that he can be just as great as All Might is. As this is going on down at the bottom on the streets, we see Bakugo, who is still pissed because the whole fact that Deku wants to do something with himself with no quirk just pisses him off. And he kicks the bottle that held the slime creature from the first episode that was in. He kicks it and it gets free. And that bottle got on the ground because it fell out of All Might's pocket when he was holding on, or when Deku was holding on to him. And it got on the streets. Bakugo kicks it in his rage. And the monster gets out and it captures Bakugo and starts rampaging into the city. So in the city, other heroes come in, they try to stop this monster, but they just can't. It's too strong for him right now, and there's fire all across the city. Bakugo is even trying to fight back from being captured by this monster by struggling all he can and using his firepower, but even he's outmatched by it. The rest of the heroes are trying to do something, and Deku as well as the depowered All Might are running to the scene, and Mount Lady shows up, but she can't do anything because it's too small for her to get in her giant form. Kamui is trying to save the people around from the fires, but he's trying to get out as fast as he can because he has wood power, so wood and fire definitely won't mix. There's nothing he can do there. And the other heroes are just waiting till somebody with a better quirk can come along and defeat this villain. While this is going on, both All Might and Deku both feel sorry for what's going on because it's their fault. Or at least they feel it's their fault because their interaction caused All Might to lose the bottle, and then that caused Bakugo to get captured and whatnot. So while this is going on, we can see Deku, he is looking over and he notices that he sees this Bakugo that's captured, and he just runs in, no quirks, no worries, because he sees his friend being captured by his monster, and he was captured by it before, so he knows how it feels to be trapped and being suffocated. He knows exactly what Bakugo is going through, and he doesn't want anybody to be hurt, and that's just the heart of a champion that he has. So he runs in, and we get a bit of, he actually wrote down in his book, and it was page number 25 of that book that Bakugo burned, that if you hit an opponent in a certain spot, you can cause them to reel back and momentarily be stunned. So Deku runs in, he throws his book bag at the monster, and it hits him in the eye, causing him to reel back and stun him enough for at least Bakugo's face to come out so he can get some air. And he's desperately clawing, trying to free Bakugo. Bakugo is screaming at him like, what are you doing? Get out of here. But Deku says that I see that you needed help, so I want to help you. I move without thinking, so I'm just doing what I can to get you out of here. As he's doing that, All Might is on the side and he sees what's going on and he loves it. It inspires him to get the power that he needs to power up once more, in spite being near or past his limit. As he powers up, he charges in, he saves Deku and Bakugo right as the monster is about to slash them down, and obliterates this slime monster with the Detroit Smash! Props to my hometown, by the way, Detroit Smash. That was just awesome. And the wind pressure was so severe from this Detroit Smash that it actually caused a tornado and caused it to rain outside. This is how freakishly strong All Might is, that just the wind pressure from what he can do is causing a climate change. And this is why All Might is one of my favorite characters in this series. I mean, he's the embodiment of the perfect hero, and things like what he did right now is what you can see. And once all that is said and done, everything is all well and good back down on the ground. Deku actually gets chewed out by some of the heroes saying, "What are you doing? Why aren't you out there?" No one's paying attention that he gave his body and his life in order to save someone. It's just because he didn't have an ability, everybody's seeing it as reckless and they're chewing him out. But on the meantime, everybody's praising Bakugo because he has an awesome ability with the ability to control explosions. And everybody's like, "Oh, you did a great job. You showed tenacity. We're trying to fight back. Do you want to be my sidekick?" But Bakugo's a really prideful character. He's not happy with that result at all. He doesn't want to be anybody's sidekick, let alone he doesn't want to be saved by anybody, especially by Izuku. So Izuku is going home. Bakugo chases him down to choose him out like, "I didn't need your help, you idiot. What are you doing? Stay away from me." But in a way, that's him, kind of him thanking him in his own way. Again, he's a really prideful character. He doesn't want to admit that he needed help. But at the same time, Bakugo deep down wants to be a hero just as great as All Might. So it was his way of thanking Deku in his own way without losing his personality per se. So Deku's still a little bit down because he doesn't have a quirk. He kind of feels that he haven't done anything. But if you think about it, he saved the day because him doing what he did, it freed Bakugo, at least for the moment, where he can breathe and he wasn't going to be suffocated and died. And it also bought time for All Might to get out there, and his actions was enough to inspire All Might to power up once more, even though he thought he couldn't, or maybe he felt that he couldn't at that time. So he was a hero in his own sense. All Might actually shows up after escaping the media. He shows up in front of Deku, who is again very excited to see him. And All Might tries to pose, plus ultra. Have no fear, All Might is here. And while he's posing, he coughs up blood and goes back to his regular form. So they gotta throw comedy in there somewhere, and they're really good with doing that. But now he's in his regular form, and he tells Izuku that what he did was very good. He thanks him, and he says, "It was because you went out there and put your life and your body on the line, knowing that you don't have an ability, is what inspired me to come out there and reassured me and showed me why I'm a hero." Heroes do things like this. They put their body out on the line. They don't ask for rewards. They risk themselves for others to save others. And that is what it takes to be a hero. The heart of a champion is what it takes. And with that, he gives Deku his assurance that with those type of qualities that you have, you can be a hero without a quirk, which excites Deku, and he starts to cry. And it was just a really emotional episode once again, because he got the assurance that he needed, and he was also able to inspire people as well. He inspired All Might to fight past his limitation and do what he needed to do to get out there and save everybody. It's like he sees a little bit of himself in Deku. So that's where our episode closes out. And before that ends, we do get a narration from Deku saying, "And this is where I started on my journey to become the world's greatest hero, which I am." So we get confirmation that he does achieve his dream. So this series is going to be about what he went through to get to that point. And the episode ends, and again, phenomenal episode, and I love the music in this series. Whoever's doing the music right now, just hand clap for them as well. It has that pulse pounding superhero type of action. It speeds up when something is exciting and you get the epic horns and violins. and things like that. And when it's danger, it sombers down a little bit. So plus up for the music in this series as well. Opening and ending, again, those are perfect. Just like I said last week, I do have some negatives about it, but it's more like oversight than anything. One thing that I am concerned about, again, this episode was pretty much just chapter 1 of the manga. Even though it was a double issue, it covered chapter 1 and the first chapter, it covered the first and second half of that first issue. So I'm wondering, once we start getting going, because there's a lot of characters they need to introduce, I'm a little bit worried about the pacing with this only having 13 episodes and how they're going to handle that. Are they going to speed up the pace too fast where things get skipped, or are they going to slow it down a little bit but we might not get to where we want to see before this goes on? I mean, as popular as it's been from the reviews last week, I'm pretty sure we're going to get another 12, 13 episodes. But if we don't, is it going to leave us hanging? Are they going to go anime original? We don't know. The other thing that I'm a little bit irritated about is that the previews for the next episode shows too much. For example, the preview for next episode pretty much has All Might saying, I'm going to pass my ability all for one down to Deku and teach him to be the greatest hero. So that's where our episode leaves off. And once again, clap it up for Boku no Hero Academia. If you liked anything I had to say in this video, go ahead and drop it a like as I get ready to close off. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because the way this spring season is going, I pretty much have content for you guys close to every day. So definitely stay tuned for that. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that. So on that note, thank you all for watching the Scout Report. It's your boy Infrared signing out. See you soon.